Hello, Patreon. I have maybe a new series I want to do. I was going to just do this on Instagram, and essentially it's making Mai Tais using all of these different rums that you see behind me. Mainly focusing on the good ones, but a lot of the rums that don't get a lot of attention from me because I keep going back to the same one. So I started doing this on Instagram about a week ago, and I made a couple. The first one I made was the Florida Rum Society's Hamilton, which I'll talk about another time. It's a really great rum. But the reason to want to make a video here was because I made a Mai Tai with this right here, which is Dorley's 12. And I felt like it was different than some of the other Mai Tais I had in a really great way. And let's just make a Mai Tai and then we can kind of talk more about that. So the way I'm going to make the Mai Tai is just kind of my recipe, which is nothing special. The only real difference is the orange liqueur, which is the Sunken Harbor Club, half Clement Creole Shrub, half Grand Marnier in its own bottle. Now, I want to be very consistent with how I'm making this Mai Tai. So it will be 1 ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of orgeat that's using my orgeat recipe. It's the same one I've been using the last couple weeks. If I run out, I'm gonna make another batch. Then using half an ounce of the orange liqueur and 2 ounces of the rum. And that's all the different rums. I'm not going to do split bases here. It's really just to taste that rum. And the reason behind it is I don't really love drinking rum neat. I like doing it. Sometimes I got to be in the mood. I'm always in the mood for a Mai Tai. And I want to explore all of these things, all these different rums. And the best way to do that to me is inside of a cocktail. A daiquiri is another great example there. I will be doing the same thing with my light or white rums, but I thought if I'm going to do it with the darker and the aged ones, the best one to do is a Mai Tai because it is so familiar to me and to all of you. So if you have, a collection of rums, whether it's a couple bottles or 10 to 20. Maybe try doing this if you want to explore those. Pick a cocktail that you can be consistent with and make the same exact thing time and time again. Ideally, one you have memorized, and then make that cocktail over and over and over again. I mean, I'm not making I'm not making cocktails every night, but once a week, I'm going to try a different rum. You can see on the back bar here, or something new that I got in to see how it holds up in a Mai Tai. So let's get going. I'm even using the same exact jigger each time because I want to be very accurate. So I'm going to start with my lime juice. That was exactly 1 ounce. And that was just half of my lime. These limes from Trader Joe's have been wild. Half an ounce of orgeat. Half an ounce of orange liqueur. Then for today, 2 ounces of Dorley's 12. All right, Dorley's 12 Mai Tai. I already know what it tastes like. I tried this a couple nights ago. It's fantastic. Okay, so the reason I'm jumping into doing this, wanting to explore this, is because I think, Barbados rums don't get much attention at all in Mai Tais, which makes a lot of sense. It's usually Jamaican or Demerara or sometimes a Puerto Rican rum. But about a month ago, I made one with RL Seal 10, and I know these rums are not sugared. I'm not saying that they are. I know 100% that they are not. When you sip them neat, they are not sweet. But in a Mai Tai, I don't know why, but to me, they taste sweeter. I don't know if it's a mental thing I have going on, but I tried it with this. I noticed it there. I thought maybe I made the Mai Tai wrong. So then I made a Dorley's one about a week ago. And I made two of them since this is the third one. And they come across a little bit sweeter than normal Mai Tais. Now, these are both 43% ABV, so they're not 40 ABV rum. So they're in line with, let's say, an Appleton Mai Tai, but the flavors here, I think maybe just because that intense pungency from the Jamaican rum is not there, that they lean a little bit sweeter. But like I said, I don't know, maybe it's just all in my mind and making it all up. But this is now the third Dorley's 12 Mai Tai I've had, and I think they lean sweet. But I should say it's an awesome Mai Tai. If you've not had Dorley's 12 in a Mai Tai, I would suggest it. If you can find Dorley's 8, I think that would probably make a good one. I'm going to do all of them. I have the XO, which I haven't even opened yet, but I think it's just that more familiar rum flavor, as well as I taste those sort of warm baking spices more in a Barbados rum than obviously something like Jamaican rum. And that I think plays off of the other flavors in the Mai Tai. And it just, I don't know, it just drinks different, but in a good, surprising way. Like it's borderline, do you need to dial back the sweetness here? And just half an ounce of the orgeat. And if you have not had Clement Creole Shrub, it is sweeter than most other orange liqueurs. I don't know if it's actually has more sugar, but it tastes sweeter against Grand Marnier, against Pierre Ferrand. So those two together, but there's no rock candy syrup. There's no Demerara syrup in here. It's just half an ounce here and half an ounce here that are giving us the sweetness. And then I think it just plays differently in a Mai Tai with the Barbados rum. So if you've not come across Dorley's before, it is a 4-square rum, and they have an exclusive distribution in the United States, at least, with Total Wine. So if you don't have a Total Wine nearby, you won't be able to find Dorley's. This bottle has got to be one of the greatest values in rum. For the last, I think, weeks or months, they've been on sale. $27.99 for a 12-year-old bottle of 4-square rum. The 8-year-old, I think, is the mid-20s. And then I think the XO is like $22.99 or something around there. But just think about that. A 12-year-old bottle of rum for under $30. And that's consistently stocked in that store. It's either on sale for $27.99 or it's $29.99. And you compare that to something like, say, Appleton 8, which is $38.99. And, obviously they're not the same. But this has got to be, I think, one of the greatest values in not just the rum world, but in the spirits world. How's it possible? There's a bottle of 4-square out there for $27.99. I'm not a huge collector of 4-square. I have one of the bottles, which is like the $85 one. We'll put that in a Mai Tai coming up. I haven't done it yet, so we'll do that. But I just can't even believe that it's only $27.99. So if you've ever had Dorley's, let me know in the comments below. If you ever used Barbados rums exclusively, or not exclusively, but just by themselves in a Mai Tai, let me know, because I want to know if I'm imagining things incorrectly here. And then I would encourage you, like I said earlier, if you have a collection of rum that you want to use and you don't really sip it neat, find yourself a cocktail that you can replicate over and over and over again to really explore the different flavors of those rums. If you were to pour this neat, which I've done, I did it a few nights ago, you're definitely, for my palate, I'm not getting all the flavors that I'm getting here inside of a Mai Tai. But over the last few months, I have trained myself to really taste Mai Tais. So I'm definitely I feel like I'm pretty advanced as far as picking up the different flavors within a Mai Tai, not necessarily outside of that in other drinks. But we'll be doing more of these Mai Tai comparisons. And really, I'm not on a journey to find, the greatest Mai Tai ever. I'm on a journey to use all of the good rums I have inside of a Mai Tai. And then I'll come back other videos and we'll do a daiquiri. I'm looking for my preferred white light rum. It's not going to be Probitas. I know a lot of people love that one. Love it too. It's got to be a little milder, a little crisper. So right now I'm looking at Hamilton, Denizen, and maybe a couple other ones. So we'll do a little daiquiri showdown here on Patreon in the future, and exploring daiquiris, Mai Tais more. Have yourself a Barbados Mai Tai. Let me know if you like it, because I don't know if I'm losing my mind or not, but it does taste sweeter, just a little bit. All right.